Now, is the testosterone booster something kind of like TRT kind of?
Yeah, so it's not. It's for people with healthy testosterone levels is always the best. It actually raises your natural and free testosterone. In that, it's not. I tell people there's different. Like for me, I needed to go on TRT at 28, and I came off. I actually got my testosterone back to the low normal range on this testosterone booster, over 300 points, but I was still low normal considered. And for me, I have primary hypogonadism. But for people that don't have that, and that we're seeing, and I tell people to get blood work on it, they come back and their testosterone levels are anywhere from 150, 200, 250 points increased from taking it. So it's the real deal. It's not, and I tell people we have a return policy. If it doesn't work and you don't like it, return it. So.
All right, bro. Well, plug everything that you got. Where can people find your podcast? Where can people buy your nutrition stuff? Where can people follow you? All of that.
The best thing, Feed Me More Nutrition, feedmemore.com. and Amazon, and hopefully we'll be in those other countries, like I said, the next 4 to 6 months on that. The podcast Conversation with the big guy Ryback on all podcast platforms, and Ryback TV now on YouTube. We're about to hit 200,000 subscribers in 6 months. The goal is to get to 1 million this year before the year's end, because I got a lot. WWE refiled the Ryback trademark on the last day. It was the one thing that I just got off the phone with Cody's attorney, and I have my trademark attorney. It's going to end up probably, if I want to pursue it, I'm legally Ryback. I could be the big guy Ryback, and they could put Reeves on the screen. They can't stop anything with that, but they're trying to file for it for online and for entertainment again. And it's going to cost me between $100,000 and $200,000 before it's over.
Yeah, bro, that's what they do, man. That's the thing is, like, they got the thing is,
there's no reason for it.
They've got that no compete clause that the companies always hit you with, right? That you can't work for somebody for 4 months after, which is completely unenforceable. But you got to spend money to get it, unenforceable. You know, like they know that it's going to cost you.
That's why they're doing it.
That's bad karma. Not only that, bro, you gave up your body and you gave them everything you had.
And I gave up a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for them too, because they told me that it was going to make them look bad. And I deal with the ankle shit every week. It's just.
It's almost like if you're walking on the sidewalk and there's a puddle by you, they could go around it, but they'll just drive through it and wet you just because they can. It's like
it's all a game. And we just extended the delay. We got 7 more months before I have to file for this against them if I choose to do it. But it's just weird, man. I tell you, my whole life is strange. I talk to Vince's brother, Rod McMahon, all the time. He buys my supplements. His brother's a little older than him, and he goes, Vince always talks good about you, and I'm just like, I never say anything bad to him about him because it's his brother. It's just like, it's the weirdest just relationship, everything, and I don't get it. But at the end of the day, I got 6 months.
I can tell you this, and we've seen so many guys being brought back that had more heat than you did. I don't know how much heat you left with, but just the fact that you're personable, you can talk, you're growing your own brand, and you have a name. No doubt you'll be back there one day, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
You know what too, though, is like ultimately people like that are like at the top of the food chain, that have a lot of money and are in charge of a bunch of people. It's like ruthlessness is kind of like a good quality in their eyes.
Yeah.
It's like kind of where it's like they look at that as like, you need to be ruthless to own all the.
It's all a game,
crazy, right? Yeah,
exactly. But you really don't have to be. You know what I'm saying?
No, you shouldn't. But like Vince likes it. That to him, it's all a game. Where he likes, and it's just a weird thing. He runs the place off of 48 Laws of Power, and it's you don't need to be like that. But it's what he's done, and it's his business. That's why I walked away. And I tell people too, at the end of the day, to not take up any more time, but. For me to move on from the entire situation, I took entire accountability over everything, and it's my fault because I stayed and I took the money and I agreed to go do the finishes, and that's the only way I was able to get closure on the situation. Because no matter what I try to do, I can convince the entire world, I can convince you guys that I got fucked over and I was a victim and I should have been the next biggest star in the fucking history of wrestling. At the end of the day, that didn't happen. The result was the result. I failed. I agreed to do it. Move on, concentrate my energies on this. You know what? If I get another crack at it, maybe it'll be a different story the second time. So
right, and you're more prepared this time. You know what to expect going in. Yeah.